Guess who's back again, again. Sorry, don't mind my singing voice. Hi everyone, it's Caroline, and we are back again with another video. And I hope you are having a beautiful day. And if you're not, I pray and hope that it gets better for you. But yeah, I've got my hat on at the moment because British weather is doing what British weather does for anybody that's in the UK or London or wherever. I was out earlier, but I'm back recording a video for you. And yeah, today I want to talk about the leap and what starting something new has taught me. So oftentimes people will ask me, how I started She Is You. And for those that are not familiar with my journey, and maybe I'll do another video about this in a bit more detail, but I've been running an organization, a community interest company to be specific, called She Is You for the last 14 years with my co-founder, dear friend that I started it with some years ago now. And it's all about empowering women and girls, providing personal development workshops, mentoring, and resources really to enable women and girls right across the UK and beyond to thrive and to do and lead and be all that they were called to do. And so been doing that for a number of years. And so often people will ask me, how I started She Is You, and they would think that I had this mastergram plan and everything was kind of, I knew exactly what I was doing. And the answer is absolutely not. I mean, at the time, I will admit that it was a lot of procrastination that came into play, whereby thinking about, oh, I need to have this in place, I need to have this, the logo, the colors, things that actually were not important at the time. Of course, those things are indeed important, but when starting something new, what I came to realize is that actually sometimes those things can be a bit of a distraction. But when you have the vision and you have a willingness to just really step out, recognizing that actually you believe that what it is that you want to do will also help other people, and it's also sometimes bigger than yourself, then sometimes it's just a case of just stepping out. And what I've come to realize as well is that through the stepping out is actually when things become a little bit more clearer. There's clarity that takes place as you take that action, as you take those steps, and as you move and take motion, right, and move in a direction, things can become a lot clearer. And it's better for you to take those steps than having to stand sort of like at the start line wondering what if, right? And so through my experience, when we started She Is You, we used what we had, we used the resources that were available to us at the time, and just took that leap. And they say that the rest is history. And so what I will say to encourage anybody that is wanting to start something new, try not to get too much in your head about it, right? Use what is in your toolbox, because you will be absolutely surprised at what you already have. And sometimes we think, oh, we need to have this, or we need to have things need to be right. There's this myth or this illusion about the perfect time and things like that. And I've come to realize there's no such thing as the perfect time. It's really the time is now, right? And so don't get in your head about it. Try and just use what you have and just take that motion. And I think people want to see you, even as a founder or anybody that's starting something new, people want to see your willingness to step out, and people really relate to people. And so we'll get into that a bit later on anyway. But yeah, start, don't overthink it, use what you have, and you will be surprised, right, at how people gravitate towards what you're doing, your vision, as you take the steps and as you are in motion. You will be surprised even at yourself as well, in terms of what you are capable of doing and what you are capable of delivering, sometimes with the little. You don't need to have so much. Just sometimes with the small thing that you have, the seed that you have, you'll be surprised at what can be made available to you, and what you are capable of doing, and the people that will gravitate towards what you're doing as well. Secondly, I want to talk about this idea that there is absolutely nothing new under the sun. And let me just explain what I mean about this, right? Sometimes when we want to start something new, whether it's a new venture or something we've been sitting on or wrestling with for some time, I think maybe I'm kind of talking more about maybe startups or founders, or to be honest, anything that you want to start, right? You may jump online and then come to realize that, oh my gosh, Someone is doing exactly what it is that I want to do. And what I've come to realize is that absolutely there is nothing new under the sun, in the sense that whatever it is that you want to start, or whatever it is that maybe you may feel like you have a bright idea, um, 9 times out of 10, that idea has been done before, or somebody has is doing it already. But that should not prevent you from taking the steps and actually doing the thing, because nobody can do it quite like you. You have a unique blueprint. And even though it may be similar, and you may find that there's another organization or somebody doing something similar to you, they are not you, right? And so there are people who may gravitate towards what they're doing, but you also have your own people that will gravitate towards you and your story. So, by all means, please do not be put off if you find that actually somebody else is doing what you want to do, or is already doing what you're doing. Keep to your lane and keep your eye on your vision and your bigger picture, because there is still something unique that you have to offer, right? And people will be drawn to you because there is nobody quite like you. Okay. And so what I say is there is nothing new under the sun, but there is also something new and unique that you have to offer. So, two things can be true at once, right? So, do not be put off by that, but still step out and do the thing that you want to do. Okay. And then the other thing that I wanted to speak about, people connect with people, right? So people don't just connect with ideas, they connect with people. Two organizations can offer similar things, two speakers can be talking about similar topics, but people connect with people, and people will be drawn to what you have to offer, your story, your blueprint, the challenges that you had to overcome, right? And so when you are on your journey of either being a founder or stepping out into something new, this ties back to the other point around, there is nothing new under the sun. And actually, yes, there is nothing new under the sun. However, people are also drawn to you, your story, the idea that you have to offer, your journey, your experiences, the things that you've had to overcome. And it's not just about sharing the idea, but actually sharing you and bringing yourself into the mix as well. Why you are doing what you're doing, why you believe, why you're doing it now. Why have you chosen this time to do it? And you'll be surprised at how much people will buy into what you're doing by you just being authentically yourself and sharing your vision and your journey. And you'll be also maybe surprised at times actually that there's a lot of people that can actually relate to what you may have experienced, what you are experiencing, and your motivation for wanting to start the thing. So remember that people connect to people. And finally, this one can be a little bit of a heavy one, but I guess it's one that has to be told and one that has to be said, is that perfection can sometimes delay purpose, right? Sometimes we can get a little bit in our heads, waiting for the time, waiting for the right, whatever it is. And especially if you're anything like a creative, or sometimes we can have this vision or these ideas in our mind's eye, and in reality it's like we're trying to make that thing happen, right? Because there's a way that we see it in our mind. You creatives, you know what I'm talking about. There's a way that you see it in your minds, and in reality it's not quite that yet, right? But actually, sometimes perfection can be somewhat of a hiding place, whereby we are on the sidelines, not really stepping out, tweaking this, tweaking that, and time is going, right? As you are kind of trying to perfect this illusion. Or sometimes it's not even an illusion, it's just that, sometimes the perfection comes as you go. Things progress and get better as you go, and as you take those steps, and as you take and as your emotion, right, as I mentioned before. So one thing I will say is that let's not overthink it. Perfection can prevent you from really walking in your purpose, walking in divine timing. So just take those steps, use what you have, use what you can, and you'll be surprised at what is on the other side of that. And for me, as I have kind of taken my steps and taken the things, and I say all of this actually, just to go back to a thought, I say all of this from sometimes actually learning the hard way. And so I'm hoping that through sharing I can prevent some of you from just wasting time sometimes, prevent you from helping you kind of get to the destination or get to the next step quicker, right? By applying some of these principles that I've learned on my journey. And one of the things that I will say over the last 14 plus years or thereabouts, at the time of this recording, is that actually taking that leap and starting something new has allowed me just to meet some incredible people, is allowed me to develop in so many ways as well, just in terms of confidence, really stretching me, helping me realize things about myself that I didn't necessarily know what I was capable of, right? Just by doing new things and sometimes putting myself to the test and, saying yes to things that would kind of make me a little bit like, oh, this is a little bit cringy, or I'm not really sure about this, but I feel like I should do this, because sometimes we can say yes to things and we may not feel like we're ready for it, but actually you are ready. You realize that you are ready when you step into the thing, right? And so for me, saying things that sometimes felt a little bit awkward or were a little bit cringy or I wasn't too sure if I was ready for, once I did the thing and I came through and I actually um actually just did it, it really helped me grow as a person. And so if you're anything like me when it comes to developing, we call it lifelong learning, the reality that actually learning doesn't stop once you finish school, university, college, or whatever it might be. That life is a journey, and life is always teaching you and you're always learning new things. And so for me, it has starting something new as a founder has allowed me just to really take those steps of faith, progress, and just continue to develop and grow, and use the tools that and the resources that have been given to me to really thrive, and go from strength to strength. So yeah, I will leave it there. I hope that encourages you. So let's do a quick recap. One, the myth of being ready, kind of take that out of the way. Sometimes you don't always feel like you're ready, but you need to start anyway. There is nothing new under the sun, but you are unique, and the world still needs your idea and what you have to offer. People connect with people. And finally, perfection delays purpose. So, what we're not going to do is wait for everything to be perfect, right? We're just going to take the leap and do the thing. So yeah, if this resonated with you, if there's anything that you really vibed with or connected with you, please do let me know. Want to hear your thoughts. And also, if there's anything else that you want me to share, talk about, please do let me know as well. We are on this journey of learning and growing and developing. So lots of love, and we'll see you next time. Peace.